Hello everyone, my name is Chen Wutong. Today I interview a school vice president and I talk about his experience. I will conduct further research on my topic from the following five aspects.
My name is Clara. So can you introduce yourself?
I am the Vice President for Administration and the Corporate Secretary of Lakeshore Colleges.
So his name is Alice Rafael de Sena, which is a vice principal at a Lakeshore College in the Philippines. So he has over 10 years of experience in managing position. The school, which is founded in 1931, which is a traditional educational institution.
So my main function in the school is to lead actually the administrative division. So I am only in touch with the faculty when it comes to their human relations concerns. So I handle marketing, I handle building administration, finance, and the legal aspect of the school, as well as human resources. So in terms of the faculty, mostly I oversee their behavior. Their behavior in the school, and also how they conduct themselves during teaching. So I'm in charge of sending out sanctions, and if they are qualified for promotions, I also oversee that, and also their salary and pay, I also overlook that, as well as their day-to-day activity in the school. As for the students, most of the time I oversee how they interact with the staff of the school and their finances as well. So I oversee their payments, and if they are updated with their payments for their tuition, and also if there are legal concerns when it comes to the students, I also address that in the school. Okay. So we have set rules for the faculty to follow whenever they conduct their classes. So it's found in the manual, which they have. So in the manual, it's stated there what they should do during class times, class hours, and what they should do outside of class hours. So whenever there are complaints, whenever there are concerns about the teachers, the students most of the time report this to the guidance office, and then the guidance office escalates this to the principal of the school. And then if it has something to do with the discipline of the faculty, then the principal would inform me about the matter. And then I see to it to check if disciplinary actions or sanctions are needed for the teacher to follow. So that's usually how the system works, and how we go about our daily operations.
So based on the Alice's experience, we can see it used transactional leadership, which emphasized clear rules, expectations, and structural procedures, especially when he was used memos, monetary complaints, and issue reward based on performance are all hard work of transactional leadership. So this focus is on maintaining all the rules and responsibility, which fills the staff's will. They have choose impact on individual and groups. Individual are the transaction leader of field circle because the expectation is clearly defined, and employees are motivated by tangible rewards like promotion or recognized when they meet outperform standards. But in another side, they may have some limitation with limit personal development and high pressures. For the special groups, they can have clear accountability, and because their teams often perform tasks quickly and correctly when guidelines are clear followed. So also the roles are well defined, which reduce conflict and confusions, so can increase efficiency and consistency. In the another team may become too dependent on rules and external motivation, which can reduce creativity.
So there are actually stakeholders in the school. So we have students, of course, we have the staff and the faculty, we also have the management committee, and we also have the parents who are also stakeholders. So whenever there are big decisions to be made when it relating to the operations of the school, so we would have to inquire from the stakeholders, especially if it has something to do with them. For example, tuition hike or tuition fee increase, that is school-wide, so everyone gets affected because we would have to fee or put additional amount on the tuition. We have to ask the parents and the students. We also have decisions when it comes to policies of the school. So if the school or the decision is school-wide, then we have to ask the personnel involved. When it comes to making the decision, it's up to the board. The board of directors of the school actually gets to decide what policies to be implemented. And then from that, we would have to implement the changes. And if there are recommendations on how to improve on these decisions, then we have to check on that every now and then. So whenever the information is incomplete or limited, we usually have to rely on historical data. So for example, the decision has something to do with tuition. Don't have complete information on making a decision on the tuition. We usually rely on historical data to match if what we are doing right now actually matches the trend of what the school is doing. And we try to compare if these decisions that we are about to make actually match what we have already made a decision before.
Rational decisions and intuitive are applied in his experience. The manager used evidence-based decision-making, evaluating past trends to guide career actions, especially when information is incomplete. Also, in some specific time to make decisions quickly, such as unexpected teachers turnover. So the focus shifts on protecting the school image. They will use intuitive. The manager is specifically use five-stage decisions, especially the manager clearly identify the issues a school critics and still staffing guard. And alternatives are considered using past data and trends, especially for complex decisions like tuition fee increase.
Letting go of staff. Yeah, so it never gets you never get used to it letting go of staff because some staff you get to know personally. So whenever you make friends with them, whenever you get to know them personally, you always invest a part of you in that person. So whenever you make a decision to let them go, it never you never get used to that feeling. So I think in my role in the school that would be the most challenging part, letting go of people, because it's easy to hire people, but it's never easy to let them go because you have to think of ways of how to tell them that you are firing them out of the school without hurting their feelings.
So based on his experience, the manager worries about how to communicate the terminations without causing emotional harm and reflecting a strong sense of compassion. Also, the staff have a right to fair treatment, respectful process, and clear justification.
One important piece of advice that I could give to someone facing a leadership role is you have to be open yourself, because going into a role you already have your convictions already there, and then your beliefs are already there, and then one day you're going to realize that you have to let go of these beliefs because you have to let go of who you were before, because it's being someone who is a follower. It's not, if you're a good follower does not necessarily mean that you are a good leader, as they say, but being in a leadership position actually it takes a lot from you, because you're not only looking out for yourself but you're also looking out for others. So yeah, so that's one thing that we all must learn eventually one day when we become leaders ourselves. So always be open to things, because you don't know everything. You don't know everything. So you have to learn from the people that you work with.
The manager shows a transitional style when ensuring discipline and policy are followed. In decision-making, the manager uses both rational and intuitive approaches. So in the future, I have learned a lot from the interview: be openness and adaptability, and continuous learning, also be flexibility. In the future, I will be flexible in how I approach challenges and make decisions based on the specific needs of the situation. Also focus on learning with understanding, ensuring my team's values, value and supported. So I'm not only understand the practical significance of management theory, but also strengthen my goal of becoming an excellent leader.